I'm Chuck Hughes, your host for Spotlight on Business, and I'd like to welcome you to the show this week. And I have a delightfully charming and no doubt talented young lady who's my guest, Miss Charbria Shine.
Hello, how are you today?
Charbria, is the shine because of that beautiful smile you have, or is that your name?
That's actually my name.
Well, listen, I want to welcome you to the program.
Thank you.
My research tells me that you are a person who's gifted in the arts. You're an author.
Absolutely, yes.
How in the world did you get inspired to be an author?
To be honest, I never thought I would be an author at all. It really was birthed out of just me having a story of my own, my personal testimony, my personal life. And at the time I was single and I was tired of being single after 20s, then you get in your 30s and it's like, wow, I am still single. And I got so tired of so many people asking me, girl, when you gonna get a man? Like, you still single, you in your 30s now, like what is going on? And I got that from family, friends, church members, everywhere. And I was like, okay, does it mean that because I'm single, I can't have a life, a purpose, I can't be happy and thrive? And so I started a blog for single women, and like the rest is history. I just started encouraging single women to live their best life with or without a man.
Well, you know what? That indicates to me that now I know where Beyonce got her inspiration from. Put a ring on it. It was all because of you, Charbria.
Is that right?
Without a doubt. Well, listen, that's the thing. You talked about your experiences as a young lady, and there's nothing better than your personal experiences because this is not anything you heard.
Yep.
This is not anything that you speculate about.
Absolutely.
And so in terms of your writings, is that part of what you want to do to be an inspiration to other ladies?
Absolutely. I even started an online ministry group, a group called Single and Satisfied. And so I have thousands of women that are on there. I encourage them every week. They encourage each other from blog posts to encouraging words to advice to now that I'm married, I'm a newlywed. Me and my husband do monthly Q&As about dating, relationships, and marriage. So yes, absolutely. I want to help single women through this journey. And if they desire marriage or dating, help them through that journey as well.
All right, well, let me ask you this. You brought up the fact that you are a newlywed.
Yes.
In your writings, in your inspiration, in your message that you want to send to other folks, how do you think that would impact your own marriage? Although,
Which part?
Any part of it. Although the fact that you are a newlywed, do you see that any of the knowledge that you have, the stuff that you're imparting to other folks, do you see that being beneficial in your own personal relationship?
Absolutely, because I practice what I preach. Everything that I talk to the women about, even now in my marriage, I've seen it working. And again, I'm a newlywed, but just finding that wholeness and being able to thrive in my singleness and being able to love me for me with or without someone in my life, that just really helps me in my marriage. Like, I don't depend on him for joy, for happiness, for my peace, for my wholeness. He's an addition to that, absolutely. He brings joy to my life, but he's not the ultimate thing that I need to have an amazing life and to thrive.
Charbria, what a strong, empowering lady. You're scaring me to death. So let's talk about your husband.
Yes.
How receptive is he to having such a strong, real vibrant mate? I mean, is he receptive? There's not any kind of clashes or clashes of wills or anything like that, is it?
Absolutely. He loves it. Well, no clashing, no, but he loves my personality. He knew that before we got married. But here's the thing about being a strong woman. A strong woman, she doesn't mind to submit or to be equal partners with a strong man because, you know, when it's a good man, she wants to do that. So we made sure that our goals for our future were aligned, you know, that we were equally yoked, and that he knew my goals and dreams for the future, I knew his, and that we wanted to support each other in that. And I encourage all single women and men to make sure that they find those things out before they get married, so there's no conflict.
You know what's remarkable to me? I'm sitting here, I'm listening to you, and I'm asking you how your husband feels about it, and I'm the same type victim.
Yeah.
My wife certainly has
so you know from
2
experience.
master's degrees, a doctorate. I have to call her Dr. Hughes. She's certainly probably more accomplished than I am. And so, yeah, I am living that life.
So you know.
It's interesting that you shared that. And your husband would be wise if he would just support you and be a part of that process.
Yes.
Because let's face it, if you have 2 strong mates working collaboratively together towards the same goals, that's when you realize your best selves and your best relationships.
Absolutely.
So, happy to hear that. All right, now tell me a little bit more about the book.
Absolutely.
Is it an easy read? Is it?
Absolutely. It's right here. It's a very easy read. I mean, you can read it in a day if you like to read. It's only about 124 pages. And the book is pretty much just my journey. It talks about, you know, what I went through, my personal journey with dating, how to heal from a broken heart, how I kept rebounding and just ending up with guys that were no good for me. And how I had to just realize, okay, enough is enough and that I deserve better. And so I had to heal from some brokenheartedness. I had to learn how to enjoy life. I had to learn how to thrive in life. And so it just goes through the healing process, my dating relationships, and how to thrive and find fulfillment and wholeness in their single life. So
what does not kill you make you stronger.
Exactly.
You know, it's kind of remarkable to me that you're such a young lady, and no, I'm not asking you your age.
Which
I'm
is
smart,
okay. I'm not
no,
one of
but
those.
I'm smart enough not to go there.
Yeah.
But it's remarkable that instead of feeling victimized, your experiences have empowered you.
Absolutely.
And that's going to bode well for you your entire life. You know, what you're doing with your book, what you're doing in terms of trying to help people in their lives, it's as much a service as the goodwill as any other entity. Because if you don't fortify that mind, then certainly you're not doing anything to help the individual. And so what you're doing is just remarkable. I'm glad to have you here as a guest. You mentioned that the book is, 124 pages?
Yes.
It's an easy read. So that means I could knock it out maybe in a half hour, and it may take Mark Spencer a couple of days. But hey, people work at their own schedule.
Yes, absolutely.
So whatever it takes. But let me say this to you. Again, we've just touched on parts of who you are. I've just met you, and I see how much depth you have as a person. So when we resume in the next part of the program, we'll share more with our audience, okay?
Awesome.
Charbria, you're famous with one name. Charbria is my guest. We'll be back in a moment.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm a bookworm. I'm one of those very ambitious, highly motivated, overachievers you've heard about. When I enrolled in Gary Community Schools, I thought I'd be all alone. Sort of like an anomaly or a unicorn. Turns out, that wasn't true at all. There's lots of us here.
Gary Schools, strong, resilient, built for education.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Whittington, host of A Day in the District. Make sure you tune in to our next episode right here on WSTG TV.
Charbria Shine.
Yes.
Charbria, now we've covered some things here now. You're an author. You're a
Yes.
playwright.
Yes.
Now, don't tell me that you doing the trifecta. They tell me that you're actually in music as well. So
Yes.
tell us about your musical acumen.
Yes. So as we talked a little bit about me writing, and I wrote a play as well. Some of that music is going to be in the play, and so I've already put some of it out already on streaming services, and I've had music videos and things like that. And so some of the major songs that are heartfelt will be called Rescue Me, Virtuous Woman, Single and Satisfied, and It's Your Love. So those will be songs that will be featured in the play Single Woman Chronicles. So,
Well, I'm
yes.
glad you said that, because in terms of empowering these ladies, man, I didn't know if your music was going to be the hero is a zero, get rid of the loser.
No,
Nothing
no,
like that. You
no,
are
it's not man
married.
bashing. I'm not gonna do that one.
So you did say you are married.
I'm happily married, yeah, so no.
Well, you said rescue me. Now,
Yeah.
listen, I'm going to date myself because I may be the only person in this entire studio that remembers a song "Rescue Me" by Fontella Bass.
Okay.
Clearly, that's not the "Rescue Me" you
No.
were talking about.
No, not
you
that
may want to
one.
Google that.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen
Rescue
to it.
Me. And the songstress is Fontella Bass. But you got all the components there. I mean, you're an author, so you can get your message out through the written word. People that don't understand that or don't want to read,
Yeah.
they can go watch the play, see and hear what you're doing. Now, that's just a lot.
Yeah.
You've written the play, you've written a book.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to be directing and acting and doing those things as well?
Well, actually, I will be directing, and I'm the lead
Oh, get
actress
outta
in the
here.
play. So yeah, that is a challenge, that is. But the great thing about it is I've been around some great mentors, some great directors. I've been in shows where I've been able to watch the lead actress direct her own show, and I just think at first because people ask, are you sure you want to, try to direct your own play? It definitely is a challenge, but I just think no better person than me to direct it. I know the vision for it. I know, what the characters, how I want them to respond in the play, the vision for how I want the stage and the set to look, everything. And the music, I wrote the music. So this is my first one that I'm directing. So it's kind of like my baby. So I'm like, no one, will really trust someone else with their baby, And so I'm thinking this first one, I'm gonna go at it, because I've seen it done. I've had friends who've done it, and I was in the shows and I kind of saw and studied how they did it, and it's very possible.
Well, you make a good point. It is your product.
Yeah.
And you know exactly what you want. Now, I may be getting ahead of you, but in terms of actors, actresses, what kind of person are you looking for? Let's say to work alongside the lead, or is it just the fact that if people are gifted in the craft, then they can act? Or are you looking for a personality that might be infused into the specific characters? What do you know as a director? How do you
Yes.
ascertain that?
Absolutely. Well, it's not just important to me for them to be just talented. Absolutely not. There's so many talented people. I absolutely want people with like spirits like me. Like they're energetic. They believe in the product. They believe in what it's saying. Even if they're single, married, whatever, they believe in what the message is, which is you don't have to succumb to societal pressures of what someone else thinks your life should look like. And that you can write your own story, whether that's to stay single, whether that's to be married, whether that's to wait to have children until you're 40 or 25. I just think that I want to encourage women and let them know you're okay, whatever season you're in. Enjoy that season now, but prepare for the next, but live in the now. So they have to believe in the message, absolutely, and I want them to be excited to be a part.
I think two things here. One is you talked about your ups and downs or the things that you went through,
Yeah.
good or bad, as being a single person. But now you're married.
Yes.
And so to be able to offer those two perspectives, that only enhances or it only validates the fact that you can offer an opinion. And do you deem that
Absolutely.
important?
Yes, I think that's very important. I would say that originally I was a little bit nervous about that because I was Miss Single and Satisfied. Everybody knew me as that. Everybody knew me as she's single, she's satisfied, she doesn't need a man, she's, living her life. And it's funny, as soon as I got engaged, my book actually came out. It was written years before, but that's when I, came out with the book. And I was thinking, is that gonna look like, maybe I wasn't single and satisfied? But it's not true. I was. And literally, when I least expected it, this amazing man literally came out of nowhere. So it kind of seems like a fairy tale, but it is true. That is absolutely what happened in my life. And that's what I'm saying. It's okay to desire marriage. Marriage is a beautiful thing, absolutely. But a single person standing in their own purpose is absolutely just as beautiful. And that's just what I want women and men to know.
I mean, it's smart because that's what happens. It's composed of two different individuals. And even it's said sometimes that opposites attract. You are you, he is who he is, and together you can make beautiful music. I was listening to you, and all of these multitudes of talents, things that you touched upon. Do you realize that in Gary, Indiana, sometime in the first quarter of next year, they will have a big, luxurious hard rock casino here?
Oh, wow.
Featuring
No.
acts and entertainment and worldwide. I'm just saying, as
I
they
didn't
say.
know.
I'm just saying.
That's
yes,
awesome.
If you take a trip on 25th and Burr Street in Gary, you'll see the construction going up. It's going to be a huge, beautiful, modern,
Wow.
hard rock casino, bringing in top talent from all over the place. And I'm going to give you a little tip here. In terms of while you're honing your craft and doing your skills or whatever, there's a local flavor. People, they will have to have some kind of local participation.
Yeah.
And just think, somebody who is already writing books, somebody who has some knowledge of music, someone who's doing plays here locally, part of the community, there could be an opportunity.
That's awesome.
I mean, I'm not trying to tease you. I'm trying to inform you. And so as you proceed and pursue your craft, just remember that there could be a golden opportunity out there for you. And in fact, may be able to tell you more. Folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When I told my friends I wanted to become an astronaut, they laughed and called me a space cadet. Fortunately, my parents took me seriously. They enrolled me in Gary Community Schools where I had STEM summer camp, dual credit classes, and certified teachers. Now, I'm a Lilly Scholar and my folks are all over the moon.
Gary Schools. Strong, resilient, built for education.
It's gross. I don't really want to talk about it.
She didn't want to at first, but I mean, it's no big deal. Everybody does it.
I was ready, totally ready, because we had been practicing this dance for weeks.
He was supposed to take this girl to this dance, but
I sprained my ankle at track practice.
I hate sharing anything personal. It's so disgusting.
For the dance, I let her wear my shoes and she hated it, but I thought she looked great in them.
he could barely even walk.
I ended up taking some pills for my pain.
Yeah, they were my mom's, but
It didn't go well.
If it's not yours,
If it's not yours,
if it's not yours,
Hey you,
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it.
don't take it. You won't believe what happened next.
Hello and welcome back to Spotlight on Business. I'm your host, Chuck Hughes. And again, let me reintroduce my fabulous guest, Miss Charbria Shine. Charbria.
Hello.
All right, we covered a lot in the first segment, and you talked and you helped and you have a lot of inspiration to give to people. Your book, we had a chance to talk about the book, but I understand that you've also written a play.
Yes.
Well, tell us something about that.
Well, it's entitled Single Woman Chronicles.
Naturally.
Yes, naturally. So it kind of did stem a little bit from the book, some of my journey, but it's also inspired from other stories I've heard from friends, family, even strangers, you know, people that I've just overheard some stories. And it's just a story to empower, again, single women to live their best life, to thrive in life, but to overcome societal pressures to just hurry up and get with any man just to have a man because their clock is ticking. And so many women after 30, I hear, you know, have that pressure to hurry up, find any man, get married, freeze your eggs, find out, figure out, you know, you have to have it all figured out, and you don't. So with this story, we just follow 3 young women, some not so young, and we just see their experiences with men, how some of their heartbreak, and how some of their experiences are just gonna really challenge their faith, their self-identity, and their very desire for love itself. And so it's just filled with heartfelt monologues and really real talk songs to just really touch the single woman's heart.
You know, another reason why I see that as being significant to me is that I'm the father of 3 daughters.
Wow, okay.
One married and divorced
Okay.
with 2 children. The other is married.
Okay.
And we have one that's single who's mama's baby, and she'll probably be single forever. But when you talk about all of these experiences and things that these young ladies go through, understand that there's a father in the background who's suffering right along with them.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I feel like not only am I married to my wife, but I have 3 other wives as well, because you have that sense of concern and care and nurturing, because it's just the nature of father and daughter. And so had you thought about the fact that when you're talking to these folks, it impacts the entire nuclear family?
Absolutely, it definitely does. And, you know, I can just attest to my personal life with my father. I've been single, as you know, for a long time. And for a long time, I felt like he was okay with that. Like, okay, you're single, good.
Oh, yeah, because no guy's good enough.
Right,
Yeah,
you know.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
you know, he was absolutely one of the persons in my life who did not ever pressure me to, so are you dating? Are you going to get married? He
Well,
always
neither did
just
I.
celebrated
Right.
where I was in life,
Sure.
and I always appreciated that. But when I did choose a husband, I definitely did take that in consideration. Would this be a man that my father would be proud of to say, this is my son-in-law, you know? And would I be proud to send him to my father, you know, and to show him as my husband? And absolutely, I thought about those things. And to my, you know, relief and me being very happy about it, that they have a great relationship and my father is very happy with my choice. So I'm excited about that. That makes me feel like I did a great job in, you know, choosing. So.
Listen, I don't know the young man, but just based on my conversation with you, he's a very lucky fellow.
Oh, thank
and I'm
you.
sure he appreciates that. All right, getting back to the play. You talked about the play, you kind of gave some description of it.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Yes.
That's something that, have you thought about that play actually being presented? Because if so, I may have a hookup. I know a guy named Mark. Yeah, I won't give his last name, but I know a guy named Mark. He might get you hooked up. Had you thought about making it a viewable production?
Absolutely. We're going to make sure that right now, because what's going on, we want to make sure that it's going to be virtual and sometime early
particularly now,
2021. Yeah. But even after everything is back going, I definitely would love to, you know, do it live and possibly tour and those types of things. Yeah.
You know, I think any kind of production where people can actually see some human value in it, that's going to make it work. And
Yeah.
then you're a remarkable salesperson for your
Thank-
product.
thank you.
Which is good, because that means that you do believe in what you are doing.
Absolutely.
All right, now what do you plan to do beyond that? I mean, in your, you started talking about all your life experiences, and probably every bit of 16 years or something. But
That's nice. That would be
what
nice. if it was
what do you
16
plan to do after that? Do you have any further aspirations, or do you want to just expound on what you're doing? What's your vision?
Absolutely. I would love to continue telling stories that inspire women, that encourage women, not only through the single process, but through dating, marriage, and beyond. So I would love to continue to tell stories that just inspire and help the woman in every season of her life just live her best life, max out in it, and to have wholeness, fulfillment, and joy. So whether that's continuing to write, absolutely, plays, absolutely, and music, yes.
Well, listen, we didn't do this at the top of the show, but tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where'd you go to school? Where did you get your inspiration?
Absolutely.
You know,
So I grew up in Gary, Indiana, born and raised.
me too.
And I went to Emerson Visual and Performing Arts School, ended up going to high school at Andran. And then my inspiration, a lot of it was from Emerson, absolutely. And a lot was actually at the West Side Theater Guild as well. I did a lot of work there. And just to see so many talented people and directors and just the talent, I was always inspired, and I continue to be inspired. And then I went to Columbia College for a little while. And so always been involved with the arts, always had a passion for it, and will always do it. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because I've been engaged with the emergency manager for the school system, and the arts, they're not here in
Yeah.
Gary, and they're
Yeah.
certainly not at the level that they were. And the fact that you are testimony to being exposed, going to Emerson, the West Side Theater Guild,
Yeah.
being exposed to those kind of activities, the byproduct turns out to be someone who is talented. You can demonstrate that talent, and I'm sure you're going to consider passing it on to others.
Absolutely.
But let me say this, in the few seconds that we have remaining, it's been delightful having you as a guest. I hope that I get the pleasure of doing this again.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for the play. I may even read the book, although, as I say, I live the book at home almost literally every day of my life. So you just continue to do what you're doing, continue to inspire, continue to be that person that's going to change some lives to positive for people. So again, thanks for being on the program. Nice
Thank
having
you.
Chuck Hughes, your host for Dimensions. That'll do it then for this week's show. So long.
WSTG TV.
Hello, my name is Dr. Paige McNulty. I'm the manager for the Gary Community School Corporation, and I am pleased to be joined today with the Jackson 5 family members, Tito and Marlon Jackson.
Hi,
how are you? Thanks for being here today.
Again. Not only are we members of the world-famous Jackson 5, but we are proud products of the Gary schools.
Growing up in Gary, our school system afforded great opportunities from academics to extracurricular activities.
And today is no different. This is why we encourage you to enroll your child in the Gary schools today.
For more information, please call 219-881-5466 or visit garyschools.org. And please remember, enroll in Gary Schools today.
Yes,
right.
Definitely enroll.
Gary Schools.
Strong, resilient.
Built for education.